SMT Nation, we back. We have news coming out of Charter. For those of you that know the brand Spectrum Mobile, that's that company. This is probably going to negatively impact Verizon, and it probably explains why Verizon has been making certain moves lately. I'll explain that in today's video, and then also AT&T comments on fixed wireless access. We're talking about cellular for home internet and why they're not necessarily that high on it. Anyways, I've got both of the stories linked in the description, and then I've got chapter markers here within the video for you to skip ahead, jump back, re-listen, and do whatever you want to do. All right, so let's go ahead and do the first story. Charter leans into high splits, CBRS small cells for network evolution. All right, now the high splits I'm guessing has to do with their traditional networking that they do for like, the home internet as they run their wireline business. And who knows, maybe that has something to do with their CBR small cells too, and they kind of go hand in hand because they're going to be launching CBR small cells in a large scale. I mean, they've already started to do it. We've heard about it. We've seen people showing pictures of them, these small cells that are up on the aerials where they have their coaxial and fiber and all of that. So, yeah, this is kind of like the first big update in a while. All right, the near-term investment areas for Charter is in their new DOCSIS technologies, where they're going to be utilizing high split approach, deploying small cells, amongst other things that they're going to be doing for their future of their mobile network as well as their home internet. So the commentary here revolves around the band 48 CBRS. They have some licensed spectrum there that they bought in the one of the more recent auctions. They can also deploy unlicensed spectrum as well. So these channels can get pretty deep. I would not be shocked if we saw like 40, 50, 60 megahertz of this, really pushing several hundreds of megabits per second from these small cells. So the high split upgrades are designed to increase the broadband speeds that cable operators can provide. We've been talking about this. You guys know Dennis 4.0, and they've got this they've got a fiber backbone. The coax goes from, the fiber, main branch of their network, and then that goes to like the premise to people's homes. And they're going to be doing this using diplex filters. And looks like they're already starting to do the high split upgrades in a handful of markets this year. They're going to be doing more next year. So be on the lookout, folks. If you see anything, comment down below. If you've been seeing them doing work, ask maybe the text to see what they're up to. They might be doing these things. But next year, it looks like it's going to be a bigger emphasis for them. They say that the upgrades are pretty fast and efficient. That's good. So they can move on as they go through the entire footprint of the network. So deploying the DOCSIS 4.0 equipment and the DOCSIS 4.0 technology, not available at scale yet. But as we go through this year and then probably more so next year, we'll be seeing on a greater scale. By 2024 and 2025, DOCSIS 4.0 should be ubiquitous. Like everywhere they've got their older DOCSIS tech, it should be upgraded with the 4.0 technology. And from an infrastructure standpoint, whatever has to happen to the premise equipment and all the pedestals and all the neighborhoods, all those main hubs, it should be done by then. Now, the one that really intrigues me, folks, is going to be the small cell plants, because the reason I say that this is going to impact Verizon negatively is the more that Comcast and Charter can get their users off the Verizon network, it costs them less money to pay Verizon, and it puts them on their native network. So between like the home internet Wi-Fi plus a network of other Wi-Fi connections across cities and towns where the businesses that people frequent have Wi-Fi hotspots that the customers can unlock. They can just connect to it, right? And then it offloads traffic that would normally be gigs consumed on the Verizon network. And Charter and Spectrum have to pay that by the gig. I don't know if they pay like $3, $4, or $5 a gig or whatever, uh, but they would love to get most of that traffic off of Verizon and onto these CBRS small cells, as well as all those hotspots in people's home internet. So this is going to be a huge investment focus area for them this year, and then moving forward next year. By 2024, 2025, folks, Charter and their Spectrum business, the Spectrum Mobile, along with Comcast and Xfinity Mobile, they're going to really push the issue and try to move away from Verizon. So now we kind of understand what Verizon is probably doing with the likes of TracFone. They saw the writing on the wall. They knew that these, the MVNO big cable, we're going to be doing these things. They're like, where are we going to grow? Where are we going to get new revenue streams? Right? Fixed wireless access, that's a big piece of what they want to do. And then wholesale, right? So they can try to do that, but it looks like that's getting minimized, right? So they're looking at prepaid. They're like, hey, we'll just buy 20 million subscribers from TracFone and try to keep those customers long term. With a lesser ARPU, they make less money. They're less profitable. But I think that's what all this is really about, right? This probably explains the direction that Verizon is going and why they're kind of behaving the way they are, kind of pivoting to the situation. Be on the lookout for these. Comment down below if you've been seeing these upgrades. All right, last one. This one is from lightreading.com. Fixed wireless access, not good enough, in quotes, for the long term. This one is from the AT&T CFO. So speaking at the Bank of America Media Communications and Entertainment Conference, Pascal DeRoche, I hope I said that right, AT&T's CEO said, long-term, we do not believe fixed wireless access will be good enough. That's why we think it's really important to place our bets now with fiber. And they're probably right. When it comes to long-term investment, fiber is absolutely the winner. The problem is, in a lot of places, they will never see fiber. Or even if they do, it won't be for a while, right? They look at their cost, return of investment analysis, and they'll make a decision as a company. Should we even bother doing this project? Should we do this project at such and such time? Sometimes they start projects and they just end them and they terminate them before they were supposed to because of funding or whatever snafus happened, and they just bail. So it sucks, but this is it. Now it says here, according to the CFO, fixed wireless access makes sense as a good catch product, putting AT&T in a position to later transition those customers to fiber. I agree. I think it does make for a good catch product, but again, you got to get those customers. They need connectivity. You need money. You should be monetizing excess capacity on your network. I know they don't really want to do that because they probably don't feel confident that their spectrum position can actually do this. They do have the least amount of mid-band compared to Verizon and definitely T-Mobile. So that kind of might be why they feel the way that they do. They didn't spend as big as Verizon on C-band, and they didn't, get a merger that put them in an advanced spectrum position like T-Mobile with Sprint. So they're definitely actually not in a position to do fixed wireless access on scale on their mobile network. I kind of agree, but yeah, they should be deploying fiber at a greater scale, and that those issues should be pushed by what I think regulators as well as local municipalities kind of becoming facilitators and then forcing the hand and really pushing the issue to get them rolling and deploying fiber. It says here, with respect to fiber, AT&T is pursuing a plan to build 30 million locations by 2025, up from 18 million today. So this almost doubling its footprint over the next couple of years. So be on the lookout. Maybe they come to your area. Maybe they get to more places after all. It says, all told, where we have fiber, we win. Where we have fiber, we take share. There's a couple areas that this is not true. We've talked to No Radio about this. They could probably do a better of just trying to distribute their product and get people switched from other providers. But it's true in places where they go and there is no other fiber provider or there's bad cable, they do take share. That is true. AT&T lost 25,000 total broadband subs in Q2 2022. That's 100% connected to the DSL. And then when it comes to fiber, they are plus 316,000 in Q2 of 2022. So where they do their fiber, it is true. It is good stuff and people like it. Moving on here about the fiber, as we build out more homes, we will reach with an inflection point. He went on to say that AT&T expects subscriber penetration to reach 40%. I think the last we heard of this, it was at like 36 or 37%. And it said fiber provides an ARPU lift of about 20%. So they're actually driven to upgrade existing DSL to fiber because they make more money, right? So it would behoove them to really build this out and get rid of the legacy product. All right, some additional stuff from his conversation. He said customer payment cycles and related collection issues have returned to pre-pandemic norms. Stimulus money is drying up. What we're now seeing is a return to norms that were common pre-pandemic. So it looks like they're downplaying it a little bit. I know Stanky talked about delinquent bills last time they spoke at the investor conferences and their quarter earnings. Market demand for mobile services remains really healthy. They have a really good promotional approach. They get people, they grow, they add subscribers. They're saying service revenues are going to grow 4.5 to 5%, with ARPU on track to accelerate in the back half of the year. That's music to investors' ears. Multiple factors are driving a decline in the business services segment. The company believes it could do better to grow small and mid-sized business. For years, we allowed cable to take share with no competition. We have to get better there. So look for them to emphasize this. I will tell you guys, if AT&T is losing share in business, so is Verizon. That means that T-Mobile is probably taking share. And I think, yeah, big cable continues to do so as well. What do you guys think of all these updates? That's a lot of stuff from AT&T. They are quite transparent after all, telling us some things here. Uh, of course, this is not what we like to hear for people that are holding out hope to get fixed wireless access from AT&T. So, put a cold damn cloth on that. You'll probably more likely get fiber before you will fixed wireless access from AT&T based on this commentary. And then, of course, Verizon, this is not what they wanted to hear as companies continue to wean their customers away from the Verizon wireless network. More CBRS small cells are coming with these new advancements in the infrastructure and deployments and upgrades from Charter. Comment down below. You all the voice of the people, the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard. Like, share, subscribe for more. Turn on the bell notifications icon to never miss an upload. Links in the description for my Twitter, my Gmail address for business inquiries, and my Patreon page, all in the description. Thanks for watching. See you all in the next one. Peace.